Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back. So today I'm going to smash my stash once again. I'm going to raid my 12x12 pattern papers and old vintage papers to curate some papers for a traveller's notebook 6x6 inch journal. I'm also going to show you how to put the elastics into a traveller's notebook journal if you've never done it before. So let me nip over to my desk over there and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So as you can see, I've got a big pile of stuff here on my desk. Now this was the cover of a journal that I started about just after Christmas, I think it was. And I got the covers, I managed to get the covers covered. These are MDF ones. I was going to offer for sale a 6" by 6" journal cover set, but it never got anywhere. I do have one or two ready to go. It's just I never bothered putting them on the website and never actually got around to doing anything with them. And I thought this project of shopping your stash or smashing your stash would be absolutely perfect. Because I've got this big pile of stuff here that we can make signatures and that kind of stuff with. But not only can we make signatures with the papers, we can also use them up to create bits of ephemera, pockets and tags and that kind of thing. I thought that would be a perfect thing to do, to kind of use everything, or I'll use a lot of stuff in your stash, not just your papers. So what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to create tags with maybe like the paper dolls and like that kind of stuff. Use up tissue papers and washi tapes and just basically just try and go through some of the bits and pieces, bits of ephemera that you've got, maybe Tim Holtz ephemera or stuff from Graphic 45, excuse me, to create pages within the journal for, you can use the journal for anything you like. You can use it for keeping receipts in, you can put photographs in it, you can use it as a memory book or whatever. It's entirely up to you, but I thought the process of putting the journal together over a couple of weeks and then creating ephemera and bits and pieces to go in, fold out, pop out, pull out, that kind of stuff. So I thought that's what we'd do today. So first things first, I'm going to pop this to one side. As you notice, it is just a bare bones. I've not got anything on the inside front covers. I've only covered it with this kind of lovely tan coloured book cloth. And if you're interested in the size of the spine, I think it's a 2". Yeah, it is. It's a 2" spine, which is 50mm or thereabouts. It's got the facility for 5 signatures, but we could just do 3. It really depends on the way we feel. We can stitch through, or I can create a tray for sticking in first. Once we've got the signatures together. So we've got lots of options, or I could just turn it into a traveller's. It wouldn't take much to turn it into a traveller's because we've got holes at the top already. So, whichever's going to be easiest. So let's have a quick flick through what papers I've got. So I've got a selection of bits and bobs from various different companies. I'm presuming this is a Graphic 45 or at least a 7 Gypsies with Alice in Wonderland. Probably. Not sure where these are. Oh, these are mine. So these are papers I created ages ago. And again, never actually got around to doing with them. I don't think so. Did I? Floral receipts, I think they're called those. I think I did some papers, I'm not sure. Oh, I know I did something. So they've got kind of like flowers and ledger papers and that kind of stuff. There's papers from, I think this is Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up paper. 2 of those, obviously this will have been 12x12s, cut down and folded. Ian's already started using these when he's done journals himself, and that's why they're leftovers, because he had lots left over. Tim Holtz ivory card stock. I think these were 6x6 card blanks. Got those. I've got some trifold cotton rag watercolour paper. So this cotton rag watercolour paper is actually made out of old t-shirts. So when old t-shirts have been sent to landfill or whatever, the cotton has been broken down and turned into paper. So it's cotton rag, proper cotton rag, made from old t-shirts. And I've got quite a few of those. I've trifold ones. Now they'd be really good for putting the signature there and having a pull out, a left or right pull out. Perfect for pockets and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to include those as well. But also, not only, but also, I've got some just old sheets of papers that have been sent to me or I've purchased in Happy Mail. There's music sheets down in the valley. I can't read music, so I can't hum the tune. I would do, otherwise fleur de mort. So we've got Sears and Roebuck catalogue pages, pages from magazines, gazetteers, atlases, encyclopedias, that kind of stuff. These all just make really nice kind of colourful pages. Old newspapers with crosswords, all kinds of stuff. What's this? So this says these pages are from 1947 book. So this was obviously sent to me in Happy Mail, but again, best loved American folk songs. Haha, there you go. So I'm presuming the lady that sent it to me was from the States. So the big rock candy mountains. Rock candy, yeah, I love it. Page from a gazetteer. Yeah. That's what there's got all sorts of different stuff, as you can see, on different types of paper as well. We've got semi-glossy paper, and we've got matte with the music paper, and then we've got matte coloured. So there's lots of different textures, lots of different kind of feels for these signatures. So what we kind of need to do, that one's not folded, that's just a single sheet, so I'll put that back in my stash box. Okay, so I think what I'm going to need to do is to get these into a position where I can actually put them together into signatures. Now look, even just that pile there already gives us a kind of decent amount, but I don't necessarily want to fill the journal completely with cotton rag. I want a selection, but I would like some of this kind of paper, although it is a bit flimsier, but that's okay. So what I need is some trimmers, some paper trimmers. So let's just go to that Tim Holtzy sheet there. So we've got those. So what we'll do is I will split that down the middle. Okay, so that gives us then two 6x6s or thereabouts. So that's going to give us some rigid cardstock. Let's do that as being the outer, actually, because it's patterned. That's more graphically patterned rather than that one's just like a plain diamond pattern. So let's just turn that round. So we've got those two as well. And I'm not particularly all that bothered about getting all the colours to match. So that doesn't really interest me that much. And obviously these sheets are not necessarily going to be 6 inches on every side. So what I'm going to do is on the longest, like that one, we'll just trim that down and then fold it. So that's not going to be 6 inch wide when it gets stitched in, because it's okay to have sheets that aren't going to be all the same size, like this one. Again, got a nice kind of like deckly edge. And then fold that one I'm just going to go through pulling out sheets that I think would look good. I'm not throwing the rest of it away though, because we can keep that for doing other stuff with. So all I'll do is just randomly pull some of the larger sheets out, like this one. That looks like it's already been cut down. Okay, so let's trim that and then fold that over and see what that gives us. Width-wise, well, would you look at that? So it looks like Ian's already done some of the hard work for me. So let's just grab that one. Again, let's lose that margin at that side. And then we'll keep some of these, not quite straight, but ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, let's just get some coloured ones in here as well. So yep, cool, like that. I like these bright coloured ones. Actually, I like that side better. It's just a question of looking at the paper and thinking which bits do I like, which bits don't I like. So the ones that I've got like all over patterns on there, all over colours, would be great for adding other panels onto. So as you can see, we're starting to build up more of those pages. The art of glass. So let's try and do two at once here. Let's lose that bit. Now, if you're disappointed that I haven't shown you how to create a cover, then have no fear. Even though I'm just going to go through collecting pages today, oh, look at that. I will go through on another video, maybe next week or in the next one, on how you can put an easy cover together for a junk journal. Oh, look at this. Oh, we've got maps. We blooming well have got maps. Look at that. All right. That's what I'm talking about. That's better. Right. Because there are a couple of different ways you can create journal covers, and lots of different materials you could use in your stash. You don't just have to use grey board, you can stick together all sorts of different stuff. So there we go, we've got another pile there. Look, so all I'm doing is I'm just filling up the journal, but I want to leave a bit of space for expansion and to be able to stick a load of stuff in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out not all of that cotton rag, but I'm going to leave maybe 3 bits in. That's only got 2. That's got 3. See, some of these I think already had bits taken off. Yeah, that's just a 2. And that's a 3, so I want those 3 ones. And I can put those cotton rag sheets to one side. So let's just see how thick we've got so far in that journal. Alright, so we've got a little ways to go now that cotton rag's out, so I can carry on. I want that crossword in there. Like that crossword. And if you put a collection or a stash together that's got both patterned and plain papers, I don't think you can go wrong. I like this yellow. Do you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down there first. Get rid of that. Then turn it round and then cut it that way. And you could spend a rainy afternoon doing this if you wanted, or you could just sit while watching TV, put a couple of episodes of Bridgerton or Downton Abbey on, or something else that you like watching, The Mandalorian, or yeah, I think we'll use that as well. I like those. I kind of like this torn decal edge as well, so I think I'm going to keep that. Oh, look at that. You can tell my blade is probably in need. Yeah, that's ripping like mad now. I may have to switch. I'm not going to throw that away though. Let's just grab another one of those and see what happens. It might just be in the paper. Yeah, it's probably the paper, because that cut alright. So there's another 4. Alright, so I think I'm going to whiz off and I'm going to just carry on doing more until I think I've got enough to stop, because like I said, I want to leave space for expansion in the journal. And I don't think we've got much further to go. I think we're nearly there. So I'll just carry on until I'm done with what I think we need, and then I'll join with you again in a sec. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done, so I'm just going to pop those on the floor for a moment. So while I was cutting those sheets out, I realised I was missing a trick on some of them, because I was cutting those strips off, and really I could have left them like this, and then when they're folded you've got ready-made pockets. So I've done that to a couple, not a huge amount, but I've done it to a couple. So now we have a pile of signatures, nice kind of collection, still room for expansion in the journal. So all I need to do now is just to kind of decide how many signatures I'm going to do. So it's either going to be 3 or 5. I think 3 probably will make it easier. So I've got to kind of sort these out and decide what's going into which one. So let me put the cover to one side there, and then I'm just going to create 3 kind of piles, so that there's a bit of the same in each one. So kind of even it all out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, so we're getting there. So that one doesn't have any of that in. That one does have one of those. So we've got one of them there, one of them there, one of them there, one of them, one of them, one of them. So I'm just, like I said, just creating piles. And if we've got one spare or one less, yeah, it doesn't really matter. But I think that's probably going to be. So what I want to do is I want to put like one of those Tim Holtzy ones, probably at the front. Okay, so I think we're nearly there. So I just have to put these together now into signatures. So I'll do that and then I'll be right back. So we've now got 3 pretty thick, pretty decent signatures with lots of different kind of, well, there's already pockets and there's already pull-outs. So let's just stick that one first. So now is the time to decide whether to do this as a traveller's or whether to do it as an actual stitched in journal. Let me think about that. I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee and I'm going to ponder and then I'll be right back. Okay, I've made a decision. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a traveller's. So I've just put those papers there, so I need to just reopen the holes on this journal here. So I just need to line those up. I've got my pokey tool, so I'm going to do middle. Actually, I don't need that one, do I? It's just this one at the top. So I've probably just put a hole in that one and I didn't need to. So excuse the head if my head gets in the way. I just need to line them up. That's it. So it's that one, that one, that one, and that one. There. I'm just poking through into some paper. So 3. Okay, so when I turn it over, this is the beauty of these. That's just another one of the spines from the 6-inch kit. Ow. You didn't see that. Don't laugh. I suppose I should fall asleep for 100 years now, shouldn't I? So all I'm doing is just opening up the holes. Just with my pokey tool. If you have an awl, you can probably do this just as easy. Okay. So I've dragged out of my stash some elastic. So I'm going to need double length and a little bit more. So probably about there. Because we do want a little bit of tension. And I'm going to put the holes so that they tie inside. So this is going to be a good one. Right, I need to make those holes a bit bigger. Let's do the middle one first. So I'm just trying to work out which is the best way to do it. Probably, yeah, I need to go from the inside out. Right, back in a moment. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done the first one. So what I'll do is, the reason I did that is basically it's just so that I made sure that I got the methodology right with the fact that the MDF spine has been covered with the book cloth. I just wanted to make sure that I did do it correctly before showing you, because it did take a few minutes of wrangling. So, but now I know what I'm doing. I can pretty much just literally show you how to do it. So I've just cut a piece of elastic, pretty much two widths or two heights of the book, of the journal. I have a little candle lighter. Oh, my finger has stopped bleeding. And that's just really just to get rid of the frayed edges on the elastic, because you don't want it fraying while you're trying to push it through or thread it through these holes here. I've got a bigger awl, so the holes in here I think are 4 to 5 mils, so this will go through quite nicely. And just open that hole up, and I'll do both sides. And I am aware I haven't decorated underneath there yet, just if you were wondering. Right, so now that I've cut the elastic, I'm just going to offer it up to the hole and just pinch it with my nail just so that it's not going to move, and then just using the pokey tool, the awl, really gently, I'm just going to push the elastic through and just pinch and push until it comes through the other side. You can just do it little and often. There you go, that one's come through. And do the same at this side. So the elastic I got from eBay, and it comes in different thicknesses. I think this one's the 3 mil. There we go. And all I'm doing is just pulling, get a little bit of tension on it, and I'm just going to tie it like so. Snip off the excess. And using the lighter again, there we go. That's 2 done. So these will be in the centres. They shouldn't move. They shouldn't move. And because we've used that MDF cover, then it's also not going to pull it. So you're not going to get any curvature. So you've got a decent bit of tension to hold it in. So I'll go away and do number 3. Now that you've seen me do 1, and I'll be back. Oh, and if you're wondering about the make of this, it says Fab Mania. You might be want to see if it's available in your country. Okay, so we've got all three done. So all I'm going to do is just slide those now underneath. One there, that one's going to go in the middle. There we go. So we've now got 3 journals. 3 signature traveller's style notebook, ripe for decorating and using up your stash. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to cut another piece of that elastic to use as a closure. So I think I'm going to do it okay, so that's just as a temporary closure. We can do another one later on, but the beauty of this is you can have it which way around you want it, because the width is the same as the height. But I kind of like it that way. Just for now. So there you go. So that's the first in the Smash the Stash kind of series. So we've gone from a pile of paper to a journal set. So if you are interested in these journal sets, basically it's just a 6x6, 2 6x6 covers plus the spine. So I do have, I don't know, it might be about half a dozen, which I'll put on the website if anybody's interested in those. If not, like I said, I will show you how you can create your own traveller's notebook using chipboard or thick card, or even show you how to do it using an existing book cover that you've gutted from a hardback book. So I'll do that in a later video. But I hope you've enjoyed watching me create the pages and put the elastics in for this traveller's notebook today. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, because it really does help the channel. You can share the video with your friends, of course, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon as well to make sure you get notified of when I do more work inside this new Smash the Stash journal. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.